procrastinating. I'm so sorry if this was all over the place. I don't script any of these. I just play, record, and go from there. And it's really uncomfortable for me to talk about this. Yeah, but I've been wanting to do it for a couple of months, and if I'm thinking so much about it, I should just go ahead and do it. I hope it makes sense. The reason, I guess, I started doing videos now is to share, I guess, more of myself and my life and stuff like that. Even though that really stresses me out, but you know. And I posted a video a little while ago on body image stuff and everything that has to do with that, and technically my story. But there's something else that I've been wanting to share that is in the lines of that has been very important. It's been a huge part of everything. And maybe it'll help someone somehow. I don't know. Really. There's not like a lesson necessarily, but also kind of there is. Which I've never been bullied or body shamed by really anyone in my life. Except one time at the really young age. It was already something that I wasn't really comfortable with myself. So yeah. And the thing is, I always felt like I looked a lot bigger and better than I was even before, right? Because I've always been a little bit above the weight I was supposed to have because height and whatever, but it wasn't something super significant. Obviously it's things that people kind of notice and whatever, and I had a bit of a baby belly for a really long time. So, and I was in and out of dance lessons and doing gymnastics and all of these classes and sports that generally favor people who are smaller. So I always felt a little weird and out of place. I guess my entire life in that sense. I mean in general, but that was the thing that I could focus it on. The physical aspect of everything. And then, you know, fast forward, you start getting your period and your body starts changing, and I started growing boobs, and at the time I was the only one of my friends that was changing in that sense, and it made me feel even more different. And there were a lot of things in a family thing that were happening. I started with my period and stuff, I guess, getting slightly, just not in a great mental space. So I started like going back into myself and not really going outside, and I didn't want to do anything anymore except, you know, go to school, and that was it. That was the only thing I could really focus on. So naturally, your body works different, stuff happens. You start looking a little different, you start gaining a little bit of weight. I immediately went to a nutritionist and tried to find, you know, diets and lose weight and exercise and stuff as much as I could at the time, because mental health also started playing a huge part of the whole thing. And I don't know which one caused the other, or it was just a mix of really, just everything got together at the same time. And so I went to those things and nothing really happened, and then I just got more depressed because there was another change in my life. And I left again people that I thought were friends and family, and I had finally felt comfortable with, even though I'd only been there for like a year or something. It got changed again. I stopped doing, again, the eating and whatever, and gain a bit more weight, I went to this, like, bone doctor type thing, because I kept twisting my ankle over and over again, which still hurts sometimes when it's cold, to be completely honest with you. And so we went to the doctor, and he checked the ankle thing, and nothing was really wrong, but he was like, there's something that is not quite right, because he was kind of like saying like my height made no sense with my development. Which now, I mean, I don't know, because everyone's body is different. And it's not like my parents are super tall. So, but yeah. And he recommended that we went to another doctor who could check that and help and whatever. And so I went to this doctor that I kept going to, because he said he had found something that was significant from 14 to 17. And that was kind of when, you know, age-wise, a lot happens in family and just for myself and stuff. A lot. And so in that span of time, I was taking all kinds of different medication. I was never really sure what they were about, just that he was trying to help me grow as tall as I could, genetically and stuff like that. I don't really know. And to help me lose weight and stuff. But as time went on, I stayed the same height, and I just kept gaining more and more weight. And no one could really figure out why, because I wasn't necessarily doing anything to make that, you know. I'd been going in and out of diets and stuff. My relationship with food at that point was pretty bad. So I stopped eating a lot of junk food. I stopped eating sugar. I stopped eating a lot of things to help, technically. And the exercise was always, you know, I will be honest. But they all knew that, and even doctors seemed to think it was still weird. So, yeah. And then the last 7 months, when I was turning 17, so in 2017, that's when everything just really didn't make a lot of sense at that point, because he changed medications again, and at the one that he'd given me, I was getting my period every 2 weeks, which is not normal at all. My periods in general at that point have been pretty irregular. Well, for the age, it just made no sense, because at that point it should have stabilized. You know, in the beginning it's a little common for it to be not super every 28 days, but for it to have been 17 when I started at 11 was weird. And we kept asking my mom's doctors, who were gynecologists and stuff, and they just kept saying that I was probably just getting used to the medication or whatever. I normally don't remember the name of the medication when asking the question or whatever, and they didn't know what it was, so no one could really figure out what, and they were just like, I mean, just see how it goes, and it'll probably get better as time goes on. But it didn't. And then this doctor is like, you probably have what they call a Cushing syndrome, which I'm still not super sure what it means, just that it changes the way that your body is and can make you gain weight, I guess, and it makes you like a certain way. And there's only like a few reasons for that to have happened, and the major ones are like tumors and stuff, or medication. He was sure it wasn't medication, so he was looking for tumors. Mind you, I've already struggled a lot with body, and the more time that it went, the more it looked different, and just all of other changes in my life. I was practically, you know, at a new city, and I had no friends, and the friends were busy, and just didn't have anyone really to talk to about anything. So just the whole situation was not great, psycho-emotionally and even physically, I think. And yeah, and then eventually my mom got tired of it. And she was like, the best thing that we can do is to just stop taking anything and just like clean your system or whatever. And so I did, and didn't get my period for like 4 months the minute I stopped taking it. And then I went to another doctor and, you know, checking stuff and whatever. And it turns out that the medication that this man had given me were actually steroids, which is not, I think, great. I mean, it's not something you necessarily want to take in general. I don't know much about it, to be honest. I haven't done research. I'm just not really interested in knowing how much. I think I should, but exactly how much it changes things or modifies or whatever. The little that I know is that it helped with the bloating and the gaining weight and the heighten your cortisol levels. I was overly stressed than I already was, having anxiety and stuff, and just heighten a lot of things. And I just, I don't know why I'm telling you this in general right at this second moment of telling this story. I guess, I don't even know. I mean, I got lost in my brain for a second. I'm so sorry. I don't know why I made such a long story, but basically, I've been going to doctors for almost every 6 months since I was 14. I turned 21 this year. At one point, I was taking up to 6 pills a day. I was promised that everything would help. It turns out most of it made things worse. I stopped taking that in 2017, but I'm still dealing with repercussions from everything and trying to fix things. And mentally and emotionally and body dysmorphia and whatever the fuck. I think the main thing that I wanted to say in that sense, and that had to do with the body thing, is that I didn't realize that physically it had gotten so bad because I looked the way at like the highest weight that I've had, which was last year. But you know, it's been around ballpark since 2017. I always thought I looked that way before, without actually looking that way. And now it's, I was trying to explain to my mom, like, in a way, I think at one point I was saying, because I never thought that that was a thing that I was dealing with in general. I always thought I was bigger and fat and whatever, so I never really stopped to really question if that was really it. Even though, you know, they talk a lot in school and eating disorders and all of these things to make sure that, you know, be careful or whatever. Even though I don't think telling you to not engage in any of those is really going to change anything, because that's not even the reason why it ends up happening. And it's more of a psycho-emotional situation for most people. Anyways, so they should more focus on that part than just the physiological of it all. But yes. And it's kind of changed a lot of things. One, at that point I realized this isn't what I looked like before. Two, the whole body thing, as much as I hate to admit it, really changed a lot of things about how I deal with myself and represent myself with other people and stuff like that, because to me my body dictated how I could live my life, Well, how it looked, not my body. But, you know, which makes no sense because it doesn't change who you are. It shouldn't. And just, it's been a lot the past few years. And, I don't know, I felt like I wanted to share it because it's important. I've already started doing things surrounding this topic. It's something that I feel very strongly about in a way because it really has, I think, mostly nothing to do actually with your body, though it is, you know, important that you take care of it because it is what's keeping you here and stuff. But it's more the psycho-emotional aspect of everything and the diet culture and fat phobia and stuff like that, which just sucks in general. I want to say that also because I decided to film a thing this morning to share with you guys that this new doctor that I'm going to, who's very chill and is very into natural things and letting the body really move itself and stuff, is helping me kind of heal the aftermath of everything. Because it ended up fucking up my metabolic system as much as my hormonal, and it's the reason why I haven't been able to lose weight since, or even at the time, because everything was just working not in the right way. There's a couple major organs that deal with cleaning and stuff that haven't been working to their full potential for the same reasons, and I guess I should have asked for third, fourth opinion from other doctors at the time, or just ask more questions about what I was taking and stuff. But you know, you are a kid, and my mom was trying to not get super involved in a lot of things because my body and the way I dealt with it and things and stuff have always been a bit of a sore subject for me, so I didn't really want to hear anything that she had to say about it, to be honest. I just trusted the doctor, and technically they should know what they're doing, and technically all they should want to do is help other people, but sometimes things happen I don't know, and that doesn't end up being the thing that happens. But I just wanted to share this because it's something that I've been dealing with for years. It changed a lot in my life, whether people realize it or not. And yeah, I don't know, it's part of what I've lived. It's been a major thing because I've always been worried about how I look and what people thought of, and like I said, you know, I thought I was allowed to be a certain way because of how I looked instead of just being more than anything, and now I'm kind of over it and I don't agree, and it's a lesson for me and for other people, and it's gotten me to a point. And also because I want to be fully transparent and honest with you, and the last video that I posted about the body image thing and whatever, and it was about listening to your body and eating when it tells you to and what it tells you to and stuff like that. And I totally didn't realize at the time, but since it took me so long to edit it, and even when I thought of the thing to do it and everything, eating like once a day, and that's not super good. Yeah, I kind of wanted to come clean with that thing, because you can't say things, well, you can say things that you're not doing, but it makes no sense, and it's not fair to other people and whatever, because I don't know, I wanted to share it. I wanted to just be more me, tell you more about me, and maybe it'll help someone. I don't know. Always ask for second, third, fourth opinions if you can, medically. And yeah, I think that's it. I'm so blushed, and it's so hot. Also, because the other day I finally bought clothes that I've always wanted to wear, and I thought I couldn't, and now I kind of don't really care. Because I'm doing my thing and I'm doing my job and I'm working on my relationship with myself mostly, because that can change your relationships with other people, and just really trying to help and take care of myself, because I don't think I really was, even when I was pretending to. But yeah, so I think that's it. I don't know if that made any sense. I have never had acne until last year, because, you know, pandemic was super nice and not at all stressful for anyone. And also because there was one last medication that I was taking that I stopped taking last year, and as soon as I stopped taking it, I started getting acne and stuff. But I'm just in a better place, and yeah, doing things in a healthier way with alternative medicine and stuff that I actually have to take because I forgot. I also wanted to share with you the intermittent fasting thing in another video, because I think it's interesting, and I've heard a lot about it, but I don't really know much about it until now. And because they're gonna force me to wake up at 8 in the morning for the next 4 or 5 months, and I've been waking up at noon for like a year, so that's gonna be interesting. I did it today for the first time, and it wasn't that bad. I was out of bed the second my alarm started sounding. It was like the minute it started, I also woke up. Like, it was, I don't know. It's very flighty, you know? Type thing. And yeah. And then I fell back asleep because I can't stay up that early. But yeah, just wanted to share that 2 things that make a little more sense with who I am, and this is important to me and a huge part of my life, unfortunately. And yeah, and also I wanted to, because I feel like I haven't formally introduced myself to this channel, not that a lot of people watch it, but you know. So if you want me to do a 50 things with me, yeah, and I might do something in Spanish instead, even though I'm gonna be even more uncomfortable. But yeah, I think that's it. I'd say follow me and subscribe and stuff like that, but it just feels a little not the time. So yeah, happy Mother's Day to all mothers in the world and everyone who is maternal, really, because you deserve it too. And happy Mental Health Awareness Month, I guess. I might do something about that as well, but I don't really like talking about it either. Makes me all very uncomfortable. So yes, have a good day. Oh, do you like my nails? They're green and black because it's really nice. Okay.